Bear with me. All right, cool. We're going now. It's working this time. Welcome to my cozy room. That's what we call this room behind us, the cozy room. It's where most of our family spends most of its time. Doesn't matter how many there are, the floor, the couch, wherever. It's just where it's comfy. All right, we're live on YouTube, live on Zoom. Beautiful. Hey, listen, I'm excited to share this information with you today. Um, this morning in my prayer time, I had the word establisher come to me. Establisher. And it instilled an entire training that I'm going to show you. Just finished the slides about what's the difference between an establisher and an agent. And, I was reading the book of Acts and it talked about how Paul and Barnabas helped establish the church. There were a lot of believers, but only some were establishers. And it took me back to my early days in my own home based business with a company called NSA, which was my first company. Actually joined a company called New Skin for about a week or two until I was recruiting someone. They told me about NSA. But I was an establisher. I didn't realize it, but I was an establisher because I was given a model that I could go establish new markets. And that's what I did. And I realized that that's what got me out of General Motors, not just being an agent. It was being an agent, yes, but also being an establisher and leading and developing teams. And that's what you guys are on this Zoom. This is what Monday Zoom's for. It's for establishers. It's for people who say, I'm not just going to be an agent, I'm going to lead a team of agents. And that's what really sets you free. Ray Kroc didn't create McDonald's, but he established it, right? He took it throughout the nation. And that's why he's a billionaire and his family is some of the wealthiest in the world because they established something. The person who establishes DAC, market over market over market, will out earn all the other agents in that market because they're not establishing the market, they're just in it. Right. And so, just like I, as a Christian, am not establishing new churches, I'm just a believer. I talk about my beliefs. I maybe am an ambassador for Christ, but I don't establish, I'm not planting churches. I'm not building and duplicating leaders and deacons. And, I don't have any disciples that I'm working with to go open new churches. I'm not going to help expand the church buildings, but I am an ambassador for Christ. And I do speak highly about my belief in Christ. And so some of you are ambassadors for DAC and you speak highly in your belief. Some of you aren't even ambassadors, right? Some of you, hopefully you're not on this call, but a lot of our agents aren't even ambassadors for the business. They don't even represent the business in the marketplace. They just are in the business. And they may mention it once a week or once a month or once every 4 months. They're not ambassadors who represent DAC in the marketplace. That's what our leaders do. They represent our business in their marketplace. But then there's people who establish the business. And it just hit me today. It's like, wow, we've not been asking people to establish DAC in their marketplace. We've said take leadership role, build, lead, and develop people, but there's a difference. And just that word came to me. So I've created a slideshow based on me and what I did in my early days to establish my business. And I helped establish the company I was in those markets. And then that turned into exponential growth that I still get paid on today, literally 34 years later. It's impeccable. I was just talking to people over the weekend who I literally met with my first month in this industry back in 1991, and they're still in our teams, and I still benefit, and they still benefit, and we benefit each other. Isn't that fabulous? That's what happens when you establish, not just when you believe. So I want to go through this before I do. Number one, we've got some new pages. The Partner with Us page has been improved. The content, all the content has been improved, as well as there's now a 4-minute video on the partner page. If you want the longer 26-minute video, you can click to it from the partner page, or you go to a new page we have called partner_overview. Okay, so write that down. Maybe someone could type that in the chat. davidallencapital.com/partner. It's all updated, new video, new content, improved content, and it's a 4-minute video. Right below it, it says, during the video, I say, if you'd like a more detailed overview, click on the 26-minute video below or read below or get with the person whose name's listed at the top of the site. So the web page says that now under the partner page, but the partner overview page, it's partner_overview slash your ID number. That goes right to the same content, but as the 26-minute video. And on the 26-minute video below it, there's a link to the 4-minute quick overview. All right. So we've got either way. Some people like to lead with a longer video. Some like to lead with the short video. I prefer the short. That's why the partner has the short. They can always go and listen to the longer one if they want. But now we've got both ends covered. They updated yesterday. And so read it and appreciate it. You'll love it. Don't forget Tuesday night, we're doing a 7:30 live game night between now and then. Tuesday's game day. Tuesday is game day. That's the day that we all look at how we doing. That's our measuring stick. It's like if we're in a weight loss contest or a bench pressing contest where test day is Tuesday, we're going to see how much we've lost, or we're going to see how much our maximum is increased, or whatever it is, body fat percentage reduction. In this case, how many new agents and how many team members do you have on the Tuesday night call? 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. And from there, we'll be leading them into the automated video training to show them the onboard system is real simple. You watch the presentation, you join the business, you watch the onboard, you start referring, right? So that will be tomorrow night, 7:30. Let's go to my slideshow. I'm really excited about this. This is like game changing as far as I'm concerned. Okay, here's what we're talking about. Are you an agent or are you an establisher? That's a question. All right. And well, let's go through the difference first of all. And by the way, it's okay just being an agent, but this is the Monday leadership call. This is the Monday leadership call. This is for people who said they want to lead and develop markets. Tuesday's team building call for people who just want to build a team, but not establish anything. You're just building a team. But there is a difference. You know, Carl with a K posted something the other day about how when you believe it and you think about it with confidence and you can imagine it and you have a burning desire to achieve it, it will happen. It always manifests itself. All successful people will tell you that. And so some people aren't even believing they can establish a market. So maybe this will be the first time and maybe this will move you. The difference between an agent and an establisher. Number one, and there could be typos in here. Sorry, I put these together pretty quick. Number one, an agent follows the system but waits for instructions and takes whatever comes their way, right? Which is great. They duplicate the model. They do it. That's fabulous. An establisher sees the bigger picture, though. They take ownership of their market. They actually say, I'm going to build something here. DAC is like my supplier. Bank Breezy is like a licensed platform I get to utilize, but they're like my providers. I am the leader of my marketplace. I'm the one who's going to take the lead and establish DAC in this town. I'm the one that when people think DAC, they think of me, right? Just like Ray Kroc did with McDonald's. He said, hey, McDonald Brothers, you're pretty good. But you know what? You haven't established throughout the country yet. I'm going to. So are you waiting to be led or are you taking the lead with your market? Number two, I talked about Paul and Barnabas. It's a biblical parable. You may or may not believe Jesus is the Son of God. And for this lesson, it doesn't matter. But the church did expand, right? You got to agree that Paul and Barnabas, who were commissioned by Jesus to go out and spread and establish the church, establish the gospel, establish the good news, the message all throughout the country, they were the ones who were led to do it. So they had Jesus had thousands of followers, believers, agents. Then he had some who were ambassadors who promoted and discipled people. Disciple just means a student. So taught people, mentored people, and helped raise them up. But Barnabas and Paul are the ones who went out, two people. He said, go out 2 by 2 into towns, and if you receive there, stay there, duplicate them, train them, disciple them, and then move to a new town and establish that town. And so it didn't matter about a building. Buildings came later. It was establishing a leader in that town to establish the church in that town, right? And there were many believers, but only some took the mantle of leadership and expansion. Only a handful. And that's you people on this call. But Paul and Barnabas didn't wait for others. They took action and built where nothing else existed. They actually risked their lives to do it. So are you a believer in DAC or are you also an establisher in the marketplace? Wow, that's a checkup from the neck up right there. That is a checkup from the neck up right there. Am I doing anything to establish DAC in my city? Am I doing anything to establish DAC in my city? See why it hit me this morning? because many people are believers in DAC and in the Bank Breezy funding platform and getting the best offer for business owners and believers in business owners and believers in our business opportunity and believers in David Rutz and Wade Cordell and Ellen Wynn and the leaders of our company, the DeHame brother, father, son trio, and our corporate team and all the different things that make this company great. They're believers in it, but that doesn't mean they're establishing it in their town. And he or she who establishes it in your town will make hundreds of thousands of dollars annually from your town. He or she who does. I'm not saying it's going to be you. Hopefully it is you, but whoever does will make overrides on thousands of fundings a year, hundreds at least, and possibly thousands. And that will establish other markets, right? So I remember my first months in this business, and I was going to a presentation at a training center, and I would attend that presentation. And then they had videos on Friday that I could go watch, but I worked at General Motors, so I couldn't go Friday mornings. So they had Tuesday and Thursday night meetings, and they had Saturday meetings. And I recognized for me to lead a market, I had to be able to run a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday training center and a Tuesday, Thursday, and sign a lease and buy desks and buy telephone systems. And because that's what the system was in that company. There was no such thing as Zoom. There was no such thing as virtual meetings and Facebook and social posts. It was belly to belly, open an office and open an office where people can come and get trained and duplicate that office. So for me to establish a marketplace costs about 100 grand in commitment anyway, about 20 grand up front. And then it also meant you had to sell desks to people to work out of that, find people who wanted to work enough that they'd pay for a desk rent, and then also find people who wanted to be reps and sell the product. But man, when you established a market, you'd make about 30, 40 grand per market. There's no guarantee. But if you led a market, now everyone had that opportunity. Most people said, no, thanks. Most people said, no, thanks. And I said, well, I'm an established. I didn't realize it was unique. I didn't realize it was special. Paul and Barnabas were special. All the other believers who were ambassadors and cooked meals and hosted people and talked about the gospel and spread the good news and mentored others were great people. But Paul and Barnabas were unique, and they went out and established the church in the early days and had to run town from town as people were trying to kill them for blaspheming God, in their opinion. And so we don't have to do that. And we're not asking you to financially risk 100 grand or 30 grand or 3 grand. To establish a marketplace, you can meet in your local hotel lobby. You can meet at Starbucks. You can meet in a Zoom room. You can meet at someone's house. It doesn't matter. The church didn't grow in a building. It grew in people's homes, dirt floor homes. Jesus said, when you leave the home, if they don't accept you, shake the sand from your sandals as you leave. They were sand floors. Shake the sand from your sandals. You don't need blisters between your toes. And you got to let them know you're not buying their garbage. You're leaving with your same beliefs that you came in with. And so establishment is a leadership method that demonstrates that you're taking it to the next level. So characteristics of an establishment. Number one, they're visionaries. They see beyond the immediate. They know there's a lot more to this than making money. You can build generational change here. They're self-starters. They don't wait for the perfect system. They create solutions on their own. Well, the video needs to change. That needs to change. This needs to change. You all can make videos. You all can stand up with the same iPhone that I have, or Mozilla, or whatever phone you have. Every laptop's got the ability to shoot videos, right? You all can do Facebook posts. Influencers, they draw people in, they set a culture, and they help others believe because they believe. When you believe so much and you share what you believe, you know what it does? It attracts other believers. You become an influencer just by sharing your beliefs. I'm not talking about social influencers who show too much of their body to get likes, or say crazy things to get likes, or rip Tesla to get likes, or rip Musk to get likes, or rip Trump to get likes, or rip Biden to get likes, or promote this to get likes. I'm not talking about that type of influence. I'm talking about someone who's influencing with good, who's bringing a movement to the marketplace. It draws people in. It creates a culture, high performance culture. They're resilient. They face setbacks, but they keep on going because they're building something. Just like Carl posted over the weekend, they see something. I saw getting out of General Motors. I went to Mount Pleasant, Michigan while working at General Motors. It's a 2-hour drive, and I established that marketplace. And I signed a lease up there while working at General Motors to build an office that I didn't even live in the city. And I bought those desks. I went to Court Furniture and I put my name on 20 desks that I would move into that place. And I built the whiteboard wall and I built the front reception area. And I went up there every weekend and stayed there several times because I had to establish the marketplace. I didn't have Zoom, but I saw it. I knew this would get me out of General Motors. And immediately, months later, we were already out earning my General Motors income. Took a lot of risk because I saw no other way to establish the marketplace. And then that led to an office in Lansing, Michigan, which led to an office in Novi, Michigan, which led to an office in Troy, Michigan, which led to an office in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which led to an office in LA. All these establishments created from a commitment, a characteristic that someone told me I should do, and I believed it. Franchise owners buy someone else's systems. They just happen to establish that system in the town. You've got a system called the DAC way, but that doesn't mean it's established in your town. So from doing to establishing, agents focus on personal commissions only, establishers focus on building organizations and duplicating organizations. Agents worry about the next deal, establishers build long-term value. Do you know what value I built from those offices? I'm still earning off those. Those centers are closed down. We moved on to other things. We didn't need the training center anymore. But you know what? I'm still earning from all those centers because they were established organizations. They were cultures. We all disagree politically, but we're so bonded close. We built a business together. One of my friends can call me and talk poorly about who I like and different things I like, and I can joke with them, and we love each other anyway because we established something together. Agents ask, what should I do? Established say, what can I create? Where? What market can I lead? What can I move into next? What mindset are you operating with today, and which one do you need to operate with? 5 steps to establish the marketplace. Number 1, be an echo and the voice. Repeat corporate updates, yes, but also create your own calls, your own Zooms, your own tips, your own training times, right? Your own gatherings at your local marketplace. Go to the Chamber of Commerce meeting together. Can you imagine you and 3 people in your team showing up to the chamber? Yeah, we are DAC in Detroit City. Yes, we are DAC in Miami, Florida. Yes, we are. Come on. We're here to help. We're bringing a movement. We'll take care of you on your payment processing better than anybody else. We'll take care of you in funding better than anywhere else. And we're offering an income opportunity for any one of you looking to supplement. You'll be established in our organization. We don't mess around. We help our organization. This organization wins. We are dominant. You know, that establishment that I made in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, and then that became several other offices that I had, including Mount Clemens. Forgot about that one. And some of them I was co-leases. I didn't open it all myself. We had people in our team. We had a Paul and a Barnabas and a Mark and a Silas and all the others who helped go establish the Christian church. But I had that as well in my team. And I was part of someone else's team, and they were establishing. And we'd established together. And you know what happened? As we're out there doing this, we recognized what could be improved. And we'd go to corporate with recommendations on what could be improved. And if they used them, great, it helped. But we were on the front lines. And if they didn't listen, then guess what happened? My enroller left and started a company called ACN. They do about $800 million a year right now and have for the last 20-something years. He would have never left the company he was with. I then was part of ACN, and I recommended we have a free position. because felt guilty about the $4.99 that was being charged. They weren't going to change that. They understood. And so I left to start my own company. Establishers eventually leave to start their own deals. Some of you could leave DAC to start your own business one day. If we're not listening to what you're saying, you may say, I got to do it differently. Establishers do those things. But all the establishers in my team are still with me. None of them left to start new companies. And I pride myself that I kind of listen. That doesn't mean I can't listen more. But if you got suggestions, you're out on the front line. When you're establishing, you have suggestions. If you're brand new and you've not done anything and you want to share, we've been doing this almost 10 years. Maybe we've tried what you think we need to be doing and it doesn't work as well as what we're doing. So when you're establishing, though, you've got a voice, man, because you're a difference maker. You're not just an agent who can get customers. That matters. That matters. We need those. But people who established the marketplace created McDonald's. It was an establisher, not Ray McDonald. I'm not sorry, not Ronald McDonald. It was Ray Kroc who established McDonald's. You guys, as establishers, are so valuable. And that's why we take part of our company and we hold it aside as equity for our establishers. We actually can become an owner of our company. Not only do we have revenue sharing for our top producers, but we have equity set aside for our top establishers who get out there and do this. So create your own movement. Multiply. Don't just sell. Every agent you bring is an opportunity to establish leadership. Build a culture, not just teams. Set a standard. How do you want your team to operate? Own your local market. Are business owners in your area thinking of DAC first? And when so, are they thinking of you and your team? If not, you need to establish yourself as the go-to person. This is like to me today. This is what got me out of General Motors. Not the product I was selling, not the company I was in, the establishment mindset. What's one thing you can do this week to establish, not just sell? Will you be an agent or will you just establish, or will you establish something that outlives you? See, when you build this, this is willable and sellable. When I say if you have 100 deals a week, you're making $500,000 a year, 200 deals a week in your team, you're making $1 million a year. If it's just $100 override each. What if you're doing 1,000 deals a week in your team? That's $5 million a year income. That's athlete money on 1,000 deals a week. I know that's a lot, but what if you establish a lot of markets? What if you established 20, 30 markets and each one just had 10 deals a week? 30 markets at 10 deals a week is 300 deals a week. That's only 10 deals a week. What if they're doing 100 deals a week and that whole market, 100 deals a week, and you have 30 markets? You're doing 300 deals a week. I'm sorry. 30 times 100 is 3,000 deals a week, and you're making 100 each. That's $300,000 a week. That's why people can make millions in this space. And then when you add the residual income, and I know these numbers are too large for most people, so reduce it down to something then. Reduce it to $100. But if you establish a market, you're not making $100. You're making some real money. And a closing thought, if Paul had just stayed in Jerusalem waiting for someone to send him, waiting for someone else to establish the church, maybe we wouldn't know. Jesus probably would have chose someone else. But it probably wouldn't have grown the way it did. See, your marketplace needs you. They need people to step up. Are you here to follow or are you here to establish? Come on now. Establishing is fun. The presentation is already done for you. The onboarding training is already done. You just got to get out there and echo that. Echo it and then build the unity of your team. Get together with your team. Build your own family. Oh, sorry, that's an old slide. That was from my slide. So I can stop sharing now. So establish or Sorry, I got a bunch of things on my screen. Establish or agent, which one are you? Be an establisher. That's why you're here on Mondays. That's where we're focusing more and more on the Mondays is how to establish the marketplace. Pretty darn simple, right? So start imagining. Now let's just go on a little vision for a minute. Set establishers as vision and the resilient. Imagine this. Your market, doesn't matter where it is. If you live in a small farming town and there's only 100 people, okay, then your market is a virtual marketplace. And think of yourself as establishing a virtual marketplace where you're going to have a virtual team all over the country that unifies and unites in this virtual place. Get your own Zoom team, get your own Zoom link, it's your own DAC virtual office, and you're going to pull everyone together and you're going to have a team and you're going to get together. And what are you going to do? You're going to have team calls. You're going to have team tips. You're going to have team recognition. You're going to have team t-shirts. You're going to have team, whatever you're going to do. What are you going to do? And now imagine you've got 100 people now who are, four of them are establishers like you, and you got 100 ambassadors and you got 100 clients a month coming in, 100 clients a month coming in already. And you're making 10 grand a month in overrides. It's not 100 a week, it's 100 a month, and you're making 10 grand from this virtual. And you got four establishers, and they're all, one's establishing Philadelphia, and the other one's establishing Queens, and another one's establishing this borough, another one's establishing Greenville's southwest side, and someone else is establishing Greenville's northeast side. You don't need but a few hundred businesses in a market, and you're going to have fundings every month. So imagine now you're establishing your local market. You got a Starbucks in town, you got a hotel in town, you got somewhere you can meet for free. Yeah, you do. Even if it's a restaurant, McDonald's, and you got to get coffee. Okay, McDonald's is going to be your meeting location where you get together every single week with your team. Tuesday night, Tuesday morning, you pick, you decide what your team can do. And you get together with them every single week and you chum and you talk shop and you talk game plan and you talk goals and you help them field train together and you go talk to clients with them and you three-way calls and you do all the things we teach. And all of a sudden you got a market and you got 20 or 30 people, ambassadors with you who believe like you believe because you share what you believe. And they're getting all mustered up with enthusiasm. They think they can set themselves free. And you got 30 or 40 of them and you own the Chamber of Commerce meeting. You walk in there and they're like, man, DAC, you guys are a movement. Yes. And a bunch of them who are on the fence of what they're doing, they don't know if what they're doing is good or not. Also, they want to be DAC agents too. And then they're owning the next Chamber of Commerce and the next Chamber of Commerce. And all of a sudden you guys become the force. And you got 100 deals per market coming in per month. You're making 10 grand per market. You just need another market established. I had 4 markets. I was 24 years old with 4 markets. How can I do it at 24 with 4 markets? How do I establish a market part-time while working at General Motors? You just do it. You just do it. You believe, so you do it. And once you got one, you then train some people up and you go build a second one. And everyone believes it's going to take off. And you say, this is what we're going to do in this market because that's what I did in that market. And that was a 2.5-hour drive from home. This one's 20 minutes from home. We're going to be here all the time. And what we're going to do in this market, we're going to own this market. And guess what? People believe and they want to be one of the leaders in that market. And then they do it and it works. So then they say, we want to go own that market. And you draw a map and you start putting dots in a map on markets you're opening. I didn't go to LA. I had someone in my team's brother-in-law who lived in LA. So he got on the phone and says, man, I love what you're doing. I want to open LA. Great. I'm not flying to LA. I can't come to LA all the time. I will periodically, but we can do it over the telephone. I can show you what to do over the telephone. And we started establishing a market over the telephone. And over time, that became one of our top producing markets. Over the telephone. Now we have virtual Zooms and we have websites and come on, it's easier now to establish than ever. And that's why I think some people don't. That's why I think that it's like we just go to these Zooms and I realize this has been a faux pas of mine. I've not focused on asking you guys to establish markets. I've not talked about it enough. I say it, you've heard me say it, but man, it's different. It's going to be different going forward. I take responsibility that I've not led you to be establishers the right way. I take full responsibility. God gave it to me today when I was reading the book of Acts. So thank you, thank him, and thank all of you for your I just forgive me for not leading with this and not speaking about this more often sooner. I think we're building our systems a little too much, and I just was lost sight of what really builds the business are establishers. Products come and go. Products come and go. Our business funding platform, getting the best offer for people. That's beautiful now, and 20 years from now, hopefully it'll still be the same commodity it is, or same type opportunity as today. But as things become a commodity, we course correct. We just put other products into the funnel. We don't know what that'll be. Hopefully it'll still be funding. But the bottom line is we'll have a distribution network. McDonald's doesn't care whether they're eating salads or burgers. They got a distribution network. And we will too. We do already. And it's super valuable. And it's going to get more valuable. We're going to be establishers rather than just ambassadors and rather just agents. So not all of you will be an establisher, but if you want to, keep coming to these Monday calls. Keep coming to these Monday calls. This is where we're going to be making it happen. This is where we're going to be talking about it, what it takes. And if you don't know, you got to come to the call and ask questions. What do I do? How do I establish it? What do you want me to do? What's the first thing I need to do in this market? And I'll tell you this, the first thing you need to do is find a few people who believe what you believe. So you start by building a team. Number one action, build a team in your local market. Locally, build a team locally. You call people, say, I'm looking to launch this market. You call people, I'm looking to dominate this marketplace with DAC. I'm bringing this great business to this marketplace. We're going to establish DAC in this marketplace. And I'm looking for 2 or 3 other people who see what I see. I want you to be on the presentation Tuesday night. I want you to meet the founder directly. I want you to be able to ask him questions directly. And then I want you to decide whether or not you like what you hear. And if so, we can dominate this Miami market together, or this Traverse City market, or this Flint market, or this LA market, or this, you name the market. And by the way, to the Daheim gentleman in Argentina, you've already proved you can get customers in the United States while living thousands of miles away. I bet you can establish a market as well, a virtual marketplace, living thousands of miles away. Like I said, LA was my best market, and I never one time traveled there. It was all telephone travel. That's it. They felt it, they believed it. We didn't meet face to face. I never met him except over the telephone until he flew into town to see his brother-in-law. It's the first time I met that leader in that market. So you don't have to live in the market to lead it, but you have to have a leader in the market to establish it. So find some, did you hear that? You don't have to live in a market to lead it, but you have to have a leader in that marketplace to establish it. You can help oversee it. You can help be the apostle to it. Apostles just create leaders, right? You can be more than just an ambassador for DAC, more than just an agent. You can be an establisher, and you can duplicate other establishers. Come on, isn't this fun? What that's going to be now. Imagine my life is gone and beyond, but I've got 50 markets established, 500 markets established, 4 countries established, 17 countries established. Who knows where DAC is going? But if we just say in the United States and Canada, and we've got 150 markets established, and I die, I've got 150 units of impact, making an impact in the world, all honoring God, all honoring businesses, and all generating a lot of income for a lot of people. You can do the same thing. That's an impact. This is an army of impact makers right here. So I'm pumped. Hopefully you're pumped. Game days tomorrow night, but game days every day when you're an establisher. Any questions from anybody? Any comments from anybody? And welcome again to my cozy room.
I know we had one chat from Matt Dehaime saying he said the second option to share partner with us page, the longer video, and he put the link. So just for anyone who needs that.
Partner underscore overview is for the 26-minute page. And again, you can get it from the short one. If you're an establisher, hit the comments page, hit the comment section. Hit 777 if you're an establisher. If you want to be an establisher and you're not yet, hit 444. That's okay. I wasn't an establisher when I started, but I wanted to be. And so I would have been typing 444. And I've been like, show me, and I'll do it. Show me and I'll do it. 444. If you're like, I want to be an establisher. If you're like, I'm an establisher, count on it. Hit 777. And the rest, you don't have to put anything in. Some of you, you can't even add chat. I see some hands up. Let's go to Mr. Wade Cordell first. You got your video off, Wade. So
It, it's not working. So I don't know what's wrong
okay,
with it,
cool.
but that's okay.
Nope.
I had my wife yesterday when you did that when you put that video, you sent it to me that's going to be on the partner page, and she
Yeah.
says, "Wow, wow, that's a landing page, really?" And I said, "Well, it's a landing page with a whole lot of information that's exciting." And so last night, her and I started putting together something that she's never been willing to do. And now she's just really excited, which got me thinking, what the heck am I doing? This is I always wanted to go and reinvent the wheel and figure out where I can go get a landing page so I can really recruit people. I don't need to do it anymore. What you put, if folks go to that partner page today, if you haven't, go to it, and send 1,000 links out. I'm telling you, man, this is exciting for me. And it's exciting for my wife. And when I see that kind of excitement from someone who doesn't get excited about a lot of things in life, because she has been married to me for 43 years, but it really changed my thought process. But anyway, you did a great job. I really appreciate you, man. See you.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate the fine words. Thank you, Joyce. Rock and roll, Joyce. Let's be establishers. Let's find our market to establish. Orlando Darden. How you doing, Orlando?
David, happy Monday to you and everyone on the DAC team. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear, buddy. You sound great.
Here's my declaration. I'm an establisher and I'm pumped, and let me tell you why. I recently moved to a smaller community. I'm in Maryland. I recently moved to a small community, Cumberland, Maryland, and here's the advantage it gives me. Sometimes when you're in a big city, you're like one among 1,000, but when you're in a small community, you get to really become more visible. You get to meet people. In fact, now on Sundays, I'm going down to a Christian organized community cafe. It's a place where we allow people to come in. We cook home cooked meals, and what we do is we allow people to pay whatever they can. If you can't pay anything, if you can pay $1 or whatever, and what it's doing is it's becoming a great meeting place. I'm able to, by volunteering there, that's even working in the kitchen, cleaning dishes and things of that nature. I'm able to serve. I'm connecting with other people who are also in business. We're all having, fellowships where sometimes we're cleaning pans and talking business kind of in a casual sense, but I'm building relationships. I'm planting seeds. I believe I'm doing God's work by serving, because we all have to do things that are bigger than ourselves. I love the activity and everything. Then, so another venue is just volunteer. Volunteer gives you the opportunity to meet people of influence, build relationships, and then that's another way for you to establish who you are. So that's a part of many things that I'm working on. I'm establishing myself not only in Cumberland, Maryland, but just throughout the state itself. So that's my marketplace, and I'm sticking with it.
Love it. Orlando. Thank you, buddy. Thanks for the work you're doing. And you know what you're doing is you're participating in something that was established by someone, that
Correct.
feeding kitchen. Someone established that. Now you got volunteers washing dishes for free. I mean, here you are. You're willing to do dishes for free.
Absolutely.
You're helping out. You're feeding people. People are donating food, etc. Someone established it, and that's what we can
Absolutely.
do with DAC. Well done, buddy.
Thank you.
By the way, you had mentioned. It'll come back to me. Who is up next? I think we said Sean, and then I don't have my glasses on. I can't see the last person there.
And then we got Sonny after Sean.
Sonny, beautiful. All right. How you doing, Sean? Well done, Orlando.
Sean, you can unmute yourself.
Why don't we go to Sonny and try to unmute Sonny and see if whoever comes up first will go first.
Dave, good morning. I have a real simple question. I didn't have hands on a pen to write that URL domain. Could you give it to me one more time?
Yeah. So there's a new link, and by the way, it's in the Facebook page as well, and it was sent out in an email to everybody yesterday. So if you got the weekly email yesterday, you've got it in there as well. But it's davidallencapital.com /partner _ overview.
Okay.
And then you put / your ID number at the end of that. The only difference is the pages are identical. One page, the partner page, has a 4-minute video. The partner overview has the full 26-minute video. So
One more time? I'm sorry. I'm writing. Say that again.
yeah,
I just posted it in the chat as well, so you can open the chat there.
I got it.
Just paste
All
Yep.
right. Thank you, guys. God bless.
partner page, 4-minute video, partner overview, 26-minute video.
Thank you.
And those are the difference. Sean, you with us, buddy? You might not be able to unmute. I know last time you had some technical sound issues. So, okay, Sean, if you're able to type in your chat, Sean, you might have some streaming issues where you're at.
I am here. Sorry about that.
Go ahead. Let's do it as quick as we can.
Okay. So just real quick, and it's not a question so much as just a encouragement today. I got my DAC Connect cards in the mail today, so I'm going to go out there. We're going to hit the ground running and make more business connections. And actually, over the last week, I had a business owner apply through Bank Breezy platform for a funding. They didn't necessarily meet the qualifications, but it's okay because it's still a business connection for the future. And I told the owner, I said, you may not meet the qualifications now, but let's touch base in the future. And if you're still looking to grow your business, I know we can help you once you do meet the qualifications.
Amen.
So, I mean, this is a great company for anyone new that may be on this Zoom. It's a great company to grow a business. Absolutely. And I stand behind it wholeheartedly. I'm seeing more connections with business owners now more than ever before. And using the connection cards, I know it's just going to increase the clientele, the amount of clientele I can help in the future.
Amen.
So I just wanted to say
Sean,
thank you to everyone at DAC.
Thank you, Sean. Thanks for your involvement. You're an ambassador for the company. No question out there sharing the good news. And keep in mind, people like that who aren't eligible yet for funding, many times the payment processing or the health share is great products for them. Gary Rolka, am I seeing that right?
You are. Good eyes. Yep. Gary, you can
All right.
unmute.
Yeah, just one quick question.
Yes,
Do you wear a blue DAC hat or a black DAC hat?
I got both. I wear both. Are you ordering one? Is that why?
I'm about to.
Yeah, I ordered both. So I like them both. And depends on what I'm wearing. My wife likes the blue one more. I like the black one more. So if I'm with her, I'm wearing blue. If I'm on my own, I'm wearing black.
Because all I know is when I tried to get a hat, they were out of orders or something.
The Nike, some of the Nikes are out. It's, we set that page up a while back, and Vistaprint has a lot of inventory. A lot of people are selling their stuff. Sometimes they fall out of products. They're not printed for us in advance. They're print on demand. So it's not like we bought 20,000 hats and they're sitting there waiting to sell. We don't print any in advance till they're ordered. And so, unfortunately, sometimes they're out of stock.
Yep.
But yeah, get any color is good enough, because it's promoting the brand. I got a Bank Breezy shirt on right now, an old Bank Breezy shirt. Orlando, and then Matthew. We got a couple more comments. Beautiful. What do you got, Orlando?
Yeah, David, can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear, buddy.
I want to emphasize this here. If you can't join a chamber of commerce or whatever, volunteer, find an organization that you care about and volunteer for. That's a great way to meet people of all kinds of backgrounds. I'm very thankful to be a part of the volunteer effort I'm a part of.
Wow.
Literally, you have business leaders who care that are there doing basic things. So through Sweat Equity, that's another great way to network and meet someone. It doesn't cost you anything, but it can give you a lot back in return.
Amen. Wow. I've never thought of it that way. I mean, obviously, that's not why you joined there, Orlando. You did it
No,
to
of course
serve,
not.
but it is a great way to meet like-minded people.
Absolutely.
Think about the type of people you're working with. That's brilliant.
That's why I emphasize doing something that you care about, not just for the single-minded gratification, but something that resonates. The one I'm a part of, I care very much about. So I'm there primarily for that, but it certainly has residual benefits that you can't deny.
Absolutely. And not only that, what it does for your emotions, what it does
Exactly.
for your confidence, what it does for your feeling of value. A
Absolutely.
lot of people are depressed today. And some of the things if you give, you have gratitude, from others and gratitude for yourself for what you're doing. And it can help turn things around in a great way. So I suffered with depression in my own life years ago. And I remember it was serving others that helped me more than anything. So
Absolutely.
It's great work, Orlando. I love it. And by the way, you know, any association like that, as you're involved, team, Chick-fil-A says they don't allow you to own a Chick-fil-A unless you are willing to volunteer and be involved in your community. You must. You don't get to own a Chick-fil-A because you're rich. It only costs you $5,000 to own a Chick-fil-A. They cover everything. You're gonna be an establisher for the brand in the community. You're gonna be in the community and active in the community. And there's such a long list of people who want to own Chick-fil-A's because they're so successful. But every one of those proprietors who owns it and splits the profit with the corporation is active in their school board, is active at school meetings, is active at the football games, is active in their churches, is active at the YMCA's, they're active everywhere because that's a prerequisite to be an establisher for Chick-fil-A. Orlando, great work, buddy. Matt Dehame, you'll be our last speaker for the morning.
Is it still morning there? 16 Eastern Standard Time. It's
Yes.
we're an hour ahead right now. So, my goodness, that was a fantastic revelation that you had.
Yes.
Probably in the sleep. You know, you wake up in the morning and says, boom, this word pops in your head, and then you just ran with it, and you nailed it. And just to Orlando's point, gratitude is foundational to any and everything, regardless of your circumstance. Regardless, there's always something to be grateful for, even a tough lesson. Remember that, or even adversity is you should be grateful for. So, key there, right? Always find something good. You will, because of your attitude, you'll find something. Don't pretend to find it. Establish the foundational principle of gratitude, and then you'll be more inclined to want to be the, quote, initiator, that which builds and creates stability. The word establishment comes that word stable, to create a stable, solid, foundational thing, right? Okay, I love this. And just for your LA establish a market on the telephone, appreciate you mentioning the remote fellows down here in another continent, 5,000 miles away from where I grew up. It's fine. Listen, could be 5 minutes. I can't, no excuses. Can't be there. Okay, we can. Choose not to presently, but since we're here, I'm so grateful I have a computer with a Google and a industry I can just select and work and establish a market from here. Are you kidding me? I was thinking, okay, I don't want to get too close to Wade's hometown. Is he still on Greenville? I'm like, well, he doesn't make many calls. I'm just going to go a little outside of Greenville, and I'm going to start calling this one industry. I just started on Saturday. Fabulous responses. I can't believe how receptive these people are. And at South, we're a Christian-based, you're in the Bible Belt. We're a faith-based company. I just want to let you know, we're credible, we're ethical, we want to help you if you need it, and we don't want to, have you do it if it's not going to benefit. They're very receptive to that approach. But building a market in South Carolina or Texas or whatever from another country is all I can do. Well, you can do it too. There's no obstacle. That's the word you use, now barrier to entry, no obstacles. Obstacles are those impediments we put because we're not grateful for something. It's like, get rid of it, all of that. And I get it, and I find myself. So it is a very important call for me to attend. I don't have to do. The other day I'm missing your call, man. I was making calls on Friday. I was like, I got to get off this call because I'm not amped up for this possibly major deal. But that's fine. Just find something to be grateful for. Find something to get motivated about. Act on it. Don't delay. Don't hesitate. Don't wait. Just do it. You'll be surprised. I constantly say this to myself. I'm surprised at how receptive these people are. But before I make the call, I'm like, oh gosh, you're going to be negative. I'm going to catch them at the wrong time. Screw that. Get that stinking thinking out of your freaking mind and just say, wait a minute. They might need me. They may be glad I called. They may not need me today, but good Lord, they might need me in 6 months or a year. This other client I had, it's submitted. We'll see what happens. It's up in the air. But that was a year ago almost, when I first spoke to her. And then she, didn't take the offer, didn't need it. And now we're back to square one. But because, right, the attentive, get organized, follow up and follow through, with them and just a little drip on them. Ladies use that term. I like that, dripping on them. nicely, with the right attitude and that gratitude attitude. I love it, man. So that's just all I have to say. I have to
Love
throw
it.
it out there. Yes, let's
Great.
go. Let's.
Great stuff, Matthew. Hey, I appreciate it. I always love when you share. I just want to read all the people who said they're already a 777 or 44. Nick DeHame, Lois Skinner, Leslie Schleiss, I believe Leslie. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Matt DeHame, Amoni Sadiq, Bill Shaw, Marco 444. We'll talk about that. Ronald 444. Keep coming back. That's where we're going to be covering how to do it. Darren Mancusi, McGuire Tate, Leo Salas 444. Sonny Mendez 444. Lois hit it too soon. Okay, you're 444. You want to be, you need help. I love it. Rico McNeil, love it. Thomas Stokes, you're right in both sides. I love it. Barry Fleet, Minor Henderson, I believe that is. Leslie, Amoni Sadiq, More Than Ready 777. Gary Rolka, Penn, Sean, my mom, Sharon. Put a 777, Mom. You got 20 more years to establish this business. Emma Aaron. Sonny's got this request. Yes, Thomas. Frank Hudasek. Mark Davis. And there's my mama, Sharon. Love it. Hey, that's what these Mondays are about. I'm looking forward to getting into it more, but keep in mind, it all starts with you having teams, your local people who believe what you believe. So if you're a 777 or 444, the first message is approach people locally, share what you believe to attract those who believe what you believe, to help lead and establish the marketplace. Start using that word. And by the way, Orlando said, when I'm in a big city, it's harder. When you're in a big city, aim small and miss small. That means take a 1 or 2 blocks and say, we're going to handle from 6th Street to 9th Street, from Grand Circus to Woodward. Whatever the area is, we're going to dominate, and we're going to be known to every business in this little chunk of places here with 20,000 businesses in it, or 2,000, whatever it is. Own and dominate the town. Own and dominate the town. You don't dominate it by taking advantage of it. You dominate it by serving better than anybody else, and you become the go-to people. I'll see you next Monday. Tomorrow's team building, game day. Get some more people into your business. Send them to your partner page. Share what you believe. They're going to hear more and more about this. And then Tuesday night, let's get them there live. God bless you all. We'll see you tomorrow at 11:30.